All right, here we're in the Hopunion laboratory, and this is where a lot of experiments are done on alpha acids and oils, and we've been
Absolutely.
talking recently about how long hops age for, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about some of the experiments you've been doing.
So yeah, we've been, this lab's kind of has a lot of different purposes. The main one being hop quality control. So we do a lot of pre-analysis for our growers before harvest, which is what this big long set of burners is here. It doesn't really get used the rest of the year. It's used for dry matters, and it kind of helps determine when hops should be picked. And then after harvest, we switch roles in here, and everything is about examining all the bales that actually are coming in from harvest. And then once everything is done harvesting and all the bales are in, then we switch over to testing pellets. So all the tests are very similar. You grind hops down into a powder, mix them with a solvent, shake them in a shaker for a little while, and then we have a UV spec on the other side of the lab over here that actually uses calculations from the ASBC methods to do alpha acids, beta acids, and a hop storage index. And some of the studies that we've been doing with MoreBeer lately, we're looking at hops and how fast they actually deteriorate in room temperature. So we've had a couple experiments going on where we've done them in sealed packages and unsealed packages at room temp versus cold storage. And the data supports so far, like what we thought, is that hops should be refrigerated and stored under a vacuum because oxygen and temperature both degrade hops pretty rapidly, and in some cases, for certain varieties, extremely rapidly. And it's actually kind of shocking to see how fast hops will degrade. So that's one thing that we've been doing this year. We've slowly been introducing beer analysis. This lab is actually its own separate company now called Alpha Analytics. And we do beer testing for our customer base, craft breweries around the United States, mostly small breweries who don't have their own lab or can't afford their own lab. So we do alcohol by volume, IBUs, color, microbial analysis, CO2 for bottling and canning if people want to do that here. I recommend doing that on site, but some people still like to send bottles off and have other labs check. And that's pretty much it.
Now, how can a customer get in touch with Alpha Analytics?
It's on Hopunion's website. There's actually a tab that goes into beer testing and hop testing. There's two different sections of the website, one for both. We do quite a bit of testing for outside hop growers, outside our ownership, people, small growers throughout the whole country. We have a map somewhere around here where we're up to like 20 different states who have sent hop samples to be tested. Some with better results than others. Just due to different growing seasons, but a lot of people popping up little organic ranches, 2 or 3 acre ranches here and there. Especially in Colorado, we get a lot of samples from Colorado. So yeah, information on our website. We've priced everything to be very competitive in the marketplace. We're not really using this as a money maker. It's more a tool for our customer base. To make sure that they make a consistent product.
Make better beer.
Yeah, just I mean we spend a lot of time and energy keeping the hops as high quality as possible, and so we want our customers to make their beer as high quality as possible too. So we offer this service for them so that they can verify their recipes, and we've already been able to help teach some people, where IBUs were off and they tweak stuff and then they fix it. It's nice to see people being able to react to something that they thought was normal and wasn't. We helped a customer recently too with a big contamination issue that they had where their beers were pretty much falling apart once they were being out and delivered to customers, and we've traced that back to something in their bottling machine. We don't pinpoint it exactly, but everything else in the brew house was really clean, and then their bottling, their bottles had contamination in every one. So it's a good tool for people to figure out if things are wrong in their brew house.
Will, is the pricing within reach of homebrewers?
I think so. I mean, I don't know if every brewer really needs to know alcohol by volume because they can calculate them themselves. The reason we offer that service is because labeling laws in the United States require that you check that every once in a while. It's not mandatory that you have your beers tested, but if the government does find out that your beer is out of range, then you will be fined. And so a lot of people send in beers just to make sure that they are in range. But we charge $20 to test IBUs, and so I think that I think that for a home brewer, to at least figure out kind of, if they make a beer that they think's 50 IBUs, it's not a bad idea for them to check to say, hey, is it close to 50 or is it 30 or is it 70? I mean, I've made beers over in the brewery across the street that should have only been 50 that were 70, but I boiled the hell out of it, and obviously it had a spike in IBUs, and so it's good just to kind of form a base.
Well, and part of that has to do as well with how the hops are stored, and that's one of the main reasons MoreBeer is interested in working with you as a lab, is determining and then passing that information on to our customers.
Absolutely.
About what varieties, they all age differently. You've mentioned before that Centennial is one of the hops that doesn't age well.
Yeah.
If we can get the information to the customers and onto our website about what hops do age well and how they should store them, then I think everyone across the country would just be making a little bit better beer.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our goal. So, just like the brewery, we're slowly ramping up over here. This has always been kind of a seasonal job for Hopunion. We're trying to turn the lab into full time. We're actually in the process of acquiring a GC, so we're going to be doing a lot of hop oil studies going forward, which is going to sit right here.
And GC stands for?
Gas chromatograph. So basically we'll take all the hop samples, and instead of just giving you an oil range, it says this hop has 1 mil of oil per 100 grams. We'll actually be able to break down that 100 grams and tell you exactly how much myrcene, caryophyllene, farnesene, geraniol, linalool, and there's some other ones, humulene, that your hops have. And then that way people can compare them to historical averages and determine how those hops rank as far as quality historically. So it kind of opens up a can of worms, because once you start getting information in, you always want to know more and more and start doing research. We're not really set up to do research here, but the goal moving forward in 2 or 3 years is to get into more hop research and maybe help aid the breeding program a little bit, and we'll just kind of see where it goes. So
great. Well, thanks for showing us around.
Yeah.